Nature is capable of mesmerizing with its beauty, but it never lets us forget who is in charge on this planet. For today's episode, we have gathered the most amazing natural events that will leave you speechless.
Oh my God!
Get ready, because after this video, you might think twice before going on a bridge during a flood. If I didn't tell you what's happening here, you'd probably think a meteorite fell on this mountain, because the aftermath of this ordinary landslide far exceeded anyone's expectations. I don't care how sturdy your house is. If Mother Nature decides it's going to fall, nothing will stop it. Watching this driver head straight into a tornado is enough to give you chills. Don't worry, he's fine, but don't try it yourself. This woman now realizes why her hotel room didn't come with a hairdryer. This rear footage shows the water's reaction to an earthquake in a Japanese canal, something you don't see every day. I have no complaints about how these ships withstood the windows. These people came to witness a landslide that paralyzed half the city after intense rains. But believe me, this is not something you want to get too close to. After this landslide, at least one person must have started to believe in fate or guardian angels. Fortunately, there was no one else at home. This scene might make you wonder if a monster is destroying your garage. Well, it is, but it's the kind of monster you'll never see. It's quite terrifying to see how this unstoppable mud flow sweeps away everything in its path. Fortunately, no one was injured. It may surprise you, but tornadoes can appear in a matter of seconds, sometimes right behind you. I'm not a meteorologist, but when storms like this hit, it seems that taking shelter in a bunker wouldn't be a bad idea. Get ready to be mesmerized by this terrifying river of mud. You will find it hard to look away. These guys must have been looking for thrills when they decided to go out on the balcony in this weather. These shipping containers should have been taken to a warehouse in the city by truck, but a sudden flood decided to save them the fuel. I admit I'm not an expert in physics, so I'll call it a glitch in the matrix. But if you know what's really going on here, tell me in the comments. This is what happens when you buy a house near the river, but you find yourself in a house on the river at least once every spring. That sky on the horizon is just a preview. The life of the locals in the coming hours is going to be absolutely unforgettable. If you see this on a slope, run, because the real danger is right behind. I would say it's a good excuse to skip work. After today's alignment, not only will you be cautious of landslides, storms, and hail, but even paved roads will seem too risky to you. Leave the window open before you leave, and Mother Nature might give you a deep clean. Honestly, even a closed window might not be much in a storm like this. Is it likely that you've never seen a flood building a dam with a dozen cars in the middle of a street, right? Let's hope the owner of this apartment always intended to turn his balcony into an open-air balcony, which is more frightening than a flood. It can turn your garden into a raging river in just 10 minutes and leave you trapped in your own home. But don't worry about this man. He got out in one piece. The restaurant owner thought he was having a bad day due to the low customer turnout. He had no idea how wrong he was. If you thought the story of Hachiko was sad, wait until you see the situation this poor psycho found himself in. Can you imagine how strong the wind must be to do something like that to your business? Yes, it's a geyser burning in the middle of the desert. Impressive, sure, but let it serve as a reminder to be careful with matches, even in the most unexpected places. The sale says hurricanes are all bad news, but listen to this gift to some friends. The neighbor's trampoline. While AI takes jobs from designers and copywriters, storms take jobs from lumberjacks. This tornado created more terrifying sets than any director of Tetra films could dream of, without the need for CGI. The most useless thing you can do is fight against nature. Take a look at these people trying it, and remember how powerful the wind can be. Bad news for the inhabitants of this region. Floods could soon cause a severe ketchup shortage. This shot might look like a perfectly synchronized photo, but a slight change of angle makes it clear that something really creepy is happening in this city. You might be, oh, no, this man is going to need new windows. Meanwhile, he is probably like, please, let me survive this storm in an apartment without windows. Let's hope this cameraman has tied himself to something firm, because gusts like this could send him flying through the air. In Nepal, this mountain river overflowed so much that it started destroying concrete bridges. Fortunately, no one was injured. Remember, no matter what Mother Nature throws at you, don't lose hope, like this guy. Living near a river is nice until it floods, and you risk losing everything in hours. Fortunately, everyone stayed safe here. Who would have thought that the most impressive thunderstorms would occur in places that are more like deserts? When hail the size of a golf ball starts falling, you don't worry about future car repairs. You feel relieved to have found cover. That moment when you start to wonder why the doormat at the front door is soaked after last night's downpour. What do you think? Is it a whirlpool or the beginning of a waterspout? Leave your theories in the comments. Yesterday, someone had a business in these stores. Today, Mother Nature has shown up to collect her, let's say, hefty rent. No. The storm couldn't destroy this concrete bridge, but it made sure no one could cross it until it finished its tantrum. Maybe, but I've already seen landslides today. To which I respond, believe me, you've never seen a landslide like this. Colossal. Look at this. The tides of the Jiangtan River in China are so fast that they can reach speeds of up to 24 kph. It's as if the locals knew this river was too wild for just a wooden bridge, so they built a more robust one next to it. Smart decision, right? People often forget how powerful nature is until it's too late. Luckily for us, no one was in these cars when it hit. Did you think you imagined it? No. This bus driver planned to drive through tons of water falling onto the road from dozens of meters high. It turns out that neither rain nor floods are needed to submerge the entire coast. Hurricane winds are enough. After the rock collapsed, people assumed the landslide would have ended. But they didn't know they were about to witness one of the largest landslides ever caught on camera. Sometimes, the only thing you can do in the face of nature's power is wait on your rooftop for the rescue team to arrive. There are no words to describe what it feels like in the middle of a hurricane. You just have to look and listen. This is what 100 millimeters of rain per hour can do to a small mountain river. You don't see the river. You're seeing it right now. This guy doesn't know he was born with a streak of luck, but he's about to find out. It's hard to imagine the anguish of watching the ocean swallow your hometown. But the good news, everyone got out safe and sound. When you start seeing objects flying, know that things are about to get even wilder, because this is just a preview of what's coming with a serious hurricane. In case you were curious, cyclone winds are fast enough to make the rain look like solid mist. This dam was built in 1912 and has withstood countless storms. But one night, it faced a record 13 million gallons of water per second and simply couldn't withstand it. What a beautiful morning to see an entire intersection collapse from the safety of your window. Don't worry, no one was hurt. Seeing a volcanic eruption is already quite rare, but witnessing one like this is a unique experience. And don't worry, these people are at a very safe distance. My grandmother always told me not to use electronic devices during the storm. I guess she forgot to mention cars. The good news is that there was no one inside. Believe it or not, Godzilla was not responsible for this disaster, but rather a storm that destroyed gigantic coastal wind turbines. So when meteorologists issue a storm warning and you see something like this, don't ignore it. Take cover. It's already terrifying to see a rock fall down a mountain, but imagine the speed it will gain when it heads directly towards someone's house. These people came to the beach to swim, but for some reason, they didn't appreciate the help of the ocean. With that, I don't know what impresses me more in this video, whether it's the strength of the wind or the amount of water flooding the streets of. Going to the ocean's edge is a constant balance between enjoying the views and wondering if something like that is going to happen. That this tornado is enormous doesn't mean it's the most destructive, but it is the most astonishing. When you live in the mountains, life is full of surprises. I believe humanity still doesn't have a word to describe the luck of the owner of this storm. You know this video belongs to today's lineup when you can't tell if it's a snowstorm, a sandstorm, or just a regular storm. To create a light show, you don't need a fancy setup. Just wait for a storm like this. Sometimes, on gloomy days, it's better not to look at the sky. Who knows what you might see? A look at these palm trees, and it's clear why the entire southeastern US was on high alert for Hurricane Ellen this September. You have to be lucky to live near such beautiful mountains, and even luckier to live there long enough to see old age. If you don't want to be picking up glass from your shattered doors after a storm, you might want to follow this guy's example. Or be smarter and put up a barricade like these guys did. You'll never be 100% on time as long as the weather can create traffic jams like this. This building basically became a lottery for its residents. Some will come home with their windows intact, and others not so much. I have two questions. How many days does it have to rain for the water to reach neck height? And why do these women need umbrellas? This weather means say goodbye to anything that's not nailed down. Due to the severe flooding, the banks of the mountain river simply couldn't handle all that water. Isn't it a bit shocking how easily the wind can uproot a fully grown palm tree? This is what my mother always said would happen if I ever let the hot water run when I was a child. Do you still think portals don't exist? So what are these flashes over the clouds? Share your guesses in the comments. This is more or less a nightmare for any insurance company. And even worse if you don't have flood insurance on that car. I don't know how many nails the builders used to secure this roof, but normal wind shouldn't be able to lift something like this. When someone forgets to secure their trash bins on a windy day, the streets get a front row seat to a trash tornado. Trees play a crucial role in retaining soil on slopes, but sometimes even they cannot withstand the amount of rain that falls in a single day. No, your physics teacher wasn't lying. Water doesn't catch fire, but the cables that short-circuited due to the rain can catch fire even underwater. Everyone likes large glass doors, except for the cleaners, who clean the fingerprints when it's sunny and sweep the glass when it's windy. Surely massive volcanic eruptions no longer impress you easily, but I bet you've never seen anything like this. Before, I dreamed of seeing the northern lights, but now it's about finding out what those auroras are. Tornadoes are fascinating to watch, but believe me, only until one heads straight for your backyard. Fortunately, this time no one was hurt. He says that drivers should be prepared for anything on the road, but no driving school prepares you for this. This poor girl definitely didn't expect to spend the day battling the forces of nature.
Oh my God!
And apparently without lights. If the weather forecasts predict gloomy weather, don't be discouraged. Mother Nature might gift you with some stunning views. These ropes are used to keep the doors open just enough to equalize the pressure and prevent the glass from breaking. It seems that Venice has a new renewal, except that in this city, the water shouldn't exactly be in the streets. Only in places like this is it possible to face the full force of nature without taking risks. If you rush to take a picture of the sunset after a storm, be careful. This storm may have left you one last surprise. I've seen many mountain rivers, but none as impressive as this one. Look. Nature has created a perfect place for a tea ceremony. You just have to put the teapot on and wait for it to boil. Landslides are stealthy. In a matter of seconds, they can slide any slope down at a few meters per second. This market scene offers you a front row view of the terrifying force of the wind and how much destruction it can cause in a matter of seconds. An umbrella can stay dry, but only if the wind doesn't have other plans. The storm ended a few hours ago in this city, but here's why locals shouldn't let their guard down just yet. Those barricades near the glass door should protect it from breaking. In theory. If you've ever seen a more impressive view than this from your window, I admit it, I'm really jealous. During a storm, windows are your best defense. If they don't hold, prepare for a thorough cleanup. If you ever find yourself in a storm like this, the only smart option is to take pictures of the lightning from inside the car. but with the windows up. It seems like someone planned a romantic dinner by the ocean. Yes, planned is the keyword here. This phenomenon seems as extraterrestrial as something created by a talented visual effects artist for a science fiction movie. Another reminder, staying under trees when a strong wind blows is not the best idea. If you think 22 meters per second isn't that fast, watch the storm outside these windows and imagine what it's capable of doing. Spotting something like this in the sky means having the luck to witness either a halo, a rare atmospheric optical phenomenon with a glow around a light source. On rainy days like this, the subway is probably not the best option for getting around the city. The last thing you want to do with winds of 20 meters per second is sit in a tent that can fly away at any moment. I used to wonder why some people are afraid of lightning. Now I understand. It's an incredible coincidence that a landslide of several tons occurs right above a beautiful waterfall. When drivers see hail, they only think about the repair bill. And the bigger the hail, the more zeros are added to that bill. It's already rare to see two tornadoes at once, but to see one go through the other, now that's really good luck. In any case, seeing two tornadoes in a single day is not exactly an everyday experience, so enjoy the view. Do you think you have problems? Try being the guy who returned home after a tsunami only to find it in ruins. This terrace is collapsing not because of an earthquake, but because of the rain. Yes, you heard right. It has rained so much that the ground has softened enough to collapse. I bet these people would agree that the most unforgettable tornado isn't always the biggest one, but the one that catches you by surprise. Fortunately, this one didn't hurt anyone. During a hurricane, it's important to stay under safety. And fortunately, despite the strength of the wind, these people still had one. If you ever have the temptation to film a tornado up close, don't do it. Get out of there as fast as you can, because it could come at you at a speed of up to 65 kph. It's hard to imagine anything more terrifying than being caught outside with winds like that. The next time you think about taking shelter under a tree during a storm, remember this. Nature is amazing because you can always witness something beautiful, strange, or downright terrifying, like what's happening in this lake. At first glance, one might think it's a pipe burst, but believe me, it wouldn't have made it onto our list if that were the case. It's not a river under the water breaking through a street sewer. Show me something more avant-garde than a mud-spewing volcano. I'll wait. If this mountain is not Olympus, then I have no explanation for those intense lightning bolts. In the past, these veterans would have watched each other's chess games, but today they have something much more intense to watch. It's clear that this guy hasn't seen our previous videos about Mother Nature, or he would know that underground parking lots are the last place you want to be during a storm, unless you plan on going swimming in half an hour. If you have a motorcycle, make sure to check the weather before hitting the road so you don't find yourself in a situation like this. This gate was upgraded to a mini dam for retaining a fairly significant amount of water. This lady was only 30 years from the shelter, but now she will have to experience the full force of a tornado approaching somewhere in this field. Don't worry, she's fine now. This is a nightmare for anyone living near a river. Although this guy seems prepared, it looks like he has built a house that can practically float to a safe place. Today's professional tip: never underestimate Mother Nature, even if you think you're in a safe place. It's chilling to see how this unstoppable flow of mud destroys everything in its path. Fortunately, no one was injured. You can now create your weather app because that's all for today. Tell us in the comments what is the wildest natural phenomenon you've witnessed. And don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. See you next video.